So today I'm going to be building for the first time a Moroccan themed build. I'm using the Oasis Courtyard kit or the Courtyard Oasis kit. I get the names confused. So I decided to build in Sulani because I guess I felt like this build would be kind of somewhat temple looking. I wanted to create like an inside courtyard in the middle and a wraparound house floor plan. So it's kind of like a donut house. And it does have a little bit of a temple feel about it because it is square. It does have a roof that kind of raises up in levels in the center. And I actually really love how this turned out. And I was really surprised that I actually enjoyed building this so much. Often I feel like it's easy to just do what you're comfortable with and what you personally really like. And I guess trying this pack out and knowing that it's a niche style and a niche design, it forced me to try something new. And it wasn't a bad thing, it was a good thing. And I actually didn't think I'd use this pack that much when I first saw it because it is more of a niche pack. But then once I got into it, I kind of discovered that there are items in this pack that I will reuse, that I will enjoy using, and that can be versatile, surprisingly. So that's always a good time. I have to say I love the spandrels and the beautiful columns that came with this kit. I think I said this in my overview video, but this is one of the most beautiful kits. In terms of it just being so pretty, and it just makes me think of princesses. I don't know, that's just what I think of. It just has this really pretty royal element to it that I vibe with, you know. Every girl wants to be a princess, don't they? And many boys as well. I also like that the tiles have those beautiful patterns, there's beautiful colors, there's blues, the greens. I particularly like the blue and green colors, but I decided for every room in the house that I would use a different palette. So for example, the bedroom is purple and another room will be, I think we did like a coral color in one of the rooms because there is a coral wallpaper that came with this pack as well. These windows I love too. Really nice. And I did say in my overview video, the only thing I was disappointed with in this pack was they repeated a wallpaper that was in Jungle Adventure, which is actually the plain wallpaper I've used on the exterior. And the colors also matched. So that was the only thing with this kit that I was like, oh, I really wish like just to have all different swatches at least, if it was the same wallpaper. And even better to have a different texture would have been great. But other than that, I really like the pack. I think also there was also another thing that I noticed. The stairs didn't quite match. I think it was the foundation pattern, or not the foundation pattern, the platform pattern. Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's a new platform wallpaper, but not a foundation wallpaper. I feel like I don't know if that was overlooked or if it's a whole other thing to then make it as a platform paper, foundation paper. I don't even know what you call a platform pattern and foundation pattern. Maybe they're really different, but I just felt like, you know, maybe it could have been available for both. That would have been nice. But yeah, other than those things, I think this pack is really nice. I mean, the doors are stunning. I love the open door in particular that has the shutters on it. The windows, the furnishings are really pretty. I love the colors. I feel like the items in this pack are really high quality as well. And what I mean by that is if you go back to base game and you look at like what we initially got, which I'm not shutting down base game at all. Like this was when the game first came out. Obviously the team had never made Sims 4 content before. It was the first time. So when you compare items that you get now, you can see how much better the items are every pack. Like the objects, for example, counters, textures on things. They're not as flat and clay looking. They're more like realistic looking. And this pack definitely can show you how much higher quality each items are. One of the things I'm thinking of in particular are the lanterns. I don't know, there's something about the detail, the pattern, ornamentation on them. It just looks good, okay? It just looks really nice. So I'm creating a bit of a I don't really know what you would call this roofing style, but I'm just gonna call it like a temple style, so it builds up, or maybe like a pyramid style, bit by bit. And I am going to use roofing on it as well. I could have covered up the interior courtyard. I could have used glass as well, but I just felt like if I added glass, it probably would have made it look more modern than I wanted it to be. And there is some stunning Moroccan modern architecture out there. I actually did Google that before I did this build, and I was kind of blown away. Like, I was into that for sure. I didn't even know that existed, so that was very cool. But yeah, I thought the interior courtyard, we would go without the glass because it was meant to look a little bit more, well, it's definitely not traditional, but it's definitely not like using materials like glass in it, or like harsh edges, like an angled glass roof, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit more earthy looking. So yeah, and the middle section where the courtyard is, we're gonna have a bubble blower in there. So I forgot what it's called, but it's kind of like a shisha, hookah? I don't know what it's called, but it kind of reflects that, I suppose. And then I also thought some vines on the front would look really pretty. So these ones I think were from, these are Get Together vines, aren't they? I'm just trying to see. Or vampires, one of those packs. Definitely very, very handy to get vines to use in builds. I would almost consider buying a pack just for the vines, to be honest. And then there's also this fencing that came in the pack as well. I really love this fencing. I think it's very nice. And I tried it around the roof, but I'm pretty sure in the end we get rid of it because it just looked a little odd. But, you know, at this stage, we're just experimenting, you know, having a good time and seeing what might work. And also, I did actually build this live on stream, and then I finished the rest of it off stream. So if you guys are interested in watching live building, I am going live on Twitch quite regularly at the moment. My Twitch channel will be in the description down below, or you can just search Deligracy on there. But I tend to go live early in Australian mornings, so it's quite a decent time for most countries. If you wanna check it out, we have a lot of fun, and I feel like I can get to know you guys better, and you can get to know me better because everything's in real time. There's not, you know, it's not voiced over. There's mistakes, and I actually really also love recording videos while on Twitch. I don't know, maybe I'm just like a performing monkey. I just enjoy having an audience while I film stuff as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that too. But also for those of you guys who don't know, I'm also now in Sydney. I was in Melbourne, but James and I have moved up to Sydney for a little while to spend time with his family and just to have some time here. There was also some crazy construction next door to where we were in Melbourne, so we've just come up here for a little while. So if you notice any differences in like the camera or the mic or quality, that would be why. It might be better, it might be worse, I don't know, it might be the same, but I thought I'd update you guys with that. So yeah, I also really loved, you know, doing the exterior of this using the new build items. Yes, it's different and it's fun to experiment, but I think my favorite part of this build is definitely the interior. Like, this is cute, but the interior looks so much better, so I'm really excited to do a walkthrough of it to show you guys, but also I get excited to do the walkthrough of my builds just for me as well. And I also was really excited to show this to James. I was like, look at my build! I still get really excited when he looks at what I make in The Sims. I don't know, does anyone else just want to show their family what they build? I just have so much fun. There's a lot of love for Sims in me, you know? I don't think it's a game that I will ever get over. And it's interesting because a lot of you guys have asked, like, what do you get sick of Sims? What do you do when you're bored of it? And I don't think I get really bored of The Sims. I get burnt out of making content sometimes, like I don't know what to film, or I'm not in the mood to film Sim stuff. But for me personally, I just don't get sick of The Sims. I just really, really love it. And another thing that I find interesting is a lot of people will go back to play The Sims 3, The Sims 2, The Sims 1, and I don't really feel like I need to do that. Pardon me. I feel like The Sims 1 just got angry at me and made me sneeze. I just don't really go back and visit Sims 3. I mean, occasionally I will for a video or just like for a moment of nostalgia. But yeah, I don't really go back and play the other Sims games. I'm really happy just playing The Sims 4. I just really like it. So I don't know, I just thought a lot of people have been asking that recently. And if you do have trouble thinking about what to do in The Sims, like you still want to play it, but you don't know what you want to do in the game, I think one of the best things to do can be looking up challenges. Watching other people's content can sometimes inspire you to try something or just make you want to play in your own way. So challenges, looking at other people's content, maybe trying out a new pack that interests you if you're in a position to do so. Like, not all of us can just go buy packs, I understand that, but oh, that red actually looks quite nice. I could have kept that. But yeah, that's obviously another option if you have some free money there. What else can you do? I think also if you're into building, looking up different architecture or going for a walk, looking at houses, trying to build a floor plan. I think those are also things that can bring you back into The Sims 4 and you can have fun with. But definitely for gameplay, challenges are a really good thing. Definitely. Or recreating kind of TV shows or themes like that. This is the entrance, and I thought we'd do like a classic little round table with a plant on it. I don't know why, but I feel like it's just this classic thing where entrance rooms have round tables when you walk in. I don't know why, it's always a round table. I don't know. But I've seen that in a lot of people's homes. Never been in my home. I don't think I've ever had an entrance room, to be honest. I feel like that's classy as. I've never had that. And I also love that with the tiles you can create kind of rugs, so just central features in rooms, combining them with other tiles. I mean, these terracotta tiles, these terracotta tiles, they are just from base game, I think. Also in the next room, could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're just base game ones, or at least you can get similar ones. I also thought that table underneath the window, which was that from Movie Stuff Pack, was really nice as well. Just, you know, I guess in this build I wanted to bring lots of colors in, try and tie some of the colors in, but also introduce new colors. The windows actually end up changing all to brown on the exterior because the blue windows didn't really suit the inside of the rooms all the time. I adore those pots in the corner. I also love that mirrored table as well. Was that from City Living, I think? And these lanterns are beautiful on the walls as well. And they look quite good sized down too. Like, I know the lighting, I don't believe is the same when you size them down, but they still look really nice in any case. Some herbs on the wall. So yeah, you walk in, to the left is the dining room, to the right there's going to be a sitting room. And then there's also going to be 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The master bedroom has a master bathroom ensuite, and then there's also a bathroom here for the rest of the house to use. So I thought this was really cute, and we're using the lanterns from Cats and Dogs in the bathroom worked quite well too. And I actually used a couple of lanterns from Batu, the Star Wars pack, controversial, but they do have a bit of a Moroccan vibe to them, especially in the gold swatches. So I think I used a Batu lantern hanging in the entrance and also over the dining table, and I thought it looked really good. Also, I've tied in to the green walls the fridge and stove because they had green swatches, so I thought that worked quite well. Sometimes for these builds that are a very different aesthetic, it's sometimes hard to know what to do for the kitchen and the appliances because the appliances can look just so basic compared to everything else. So I was really happy when I remembered the country kitchen has that green, like that bottle green swatch. I love that swatch. And then also the oven, which was from, oh no, I forgot where the oven was from. I've had a turtle mental blank. Anyway, that came in kind of a greeny color as well. It doesn't quite match, but it's all right. So another thing with this build is the rooms are really narrow, and narrow rooms can be difficult to furnish. At first, I thought I would put the bubble blower in here. In the end, I put it in the courtyard and the fountain out the front of the house. But yeah, I was trying for a while to fit a bubble blower in here, and honestly, it really needs more space. Like the Sims, yes, could probably walk around it, but it's just a bit squishy and doesn't look like it would flow very well. So we're gonna mess around with this for a little while, trying to make it work. And I also love the swatches on the chairs that there's those striped colors. I kind of wish I did use the stripes in the end now that I'm looking at it again instead of that creamy color. I definitely played it too safe, dang it. But I love the bubble blower, bubble. How cool is it and how satisfying is it when a word sounds like what you're saying, like sounds like what it means? I know there's a word for that. I've forgotten what it is, but like bubbles. Bubbles sounds like bubbles, you know? Bubbles. And spindly is another word that like sounds like what it means. I feel like ice like sounds cold and like frozen. And whoever made up those words, or I guess they came from Latin, does that mean that they were trying to make up words that sounded like things? Like, is that where it originated from, or was it just by chance? I don't think so. I don't think it was by chance. Also, I love this sitting room. It's so pretty. Oh, I love these items. I mean, I say it's not my personal taste, but like, oh, there's the Batu lamp hanging. But I still love it. Like, I would love to stay here. I'd love to go here. I think I would really love to go to Morocco and see all the beautiful different styles around the design. That would be pretty cool. My mom and her partner went to Morocco and Spain a couple of years ago, obviously not recently, but they had the best time. And my mom, I remember she just said the architecture and design was so stunning, and she managed to somehow bring home like this beautiful Moroccan plate, and I think it was handmade, and my mom adores it. And I'm like, oh my God, every time we use it or I wash it, I'm so scared I'm gonna break it. But she managed to like wrap it up and bring it all the way back to Australia without breaking it. I don't know how, but she did it. There's our central bubble blowing station there. I think we're gonna change the lounge room a bit still. I think I had a lot of trouble figuring out the colors in here. And yeah, we might have done the blue Get Famous tile in there. I think we might end up keeping that. And while I was building this, or furnishing it, because I streamed and then I didn't finish it on the stream, I finished it off stream, I was watching my new favorite show, The Good Wife. I know I am late to the party. I'm late to the party with a lot of TV shows, but I love that show. By season 3, it gets so good. Like, it's a really, really good show. I've heard from several people that they really liked it, and I watched the first season. I was like, yeah, this is good. Kept watching it. By season 3, it gets really, really freaking good. And then there's also a show called The Good Fight, which came out after The Good Wife. And I actually watched that first, but I think it's going to be really good to watch that after I finish The Good Wife again, because then I'll obviously understand a little bit more about it. But I don't think you have to have watched The Good Wife to watch that. That was a good choice for floor tile in the middle. I really hope I keep that. Keep that, Deli. Do you ever think about your old self? And you're like, or you think, like, for example, how do I explain this? For example, coming back to Sydney, we were here last year. And while I was here, I did a whole heap of organization in the cupboards. Like, I got Tupperware and labeled things, and I was like an organizing queen. I spent hours on it. And I totally forgot I did that. And then when we got here and I opened up the cupboards, I was like, oh my God, I love old Deli. I love her. She's such a good person. And James was saying something like, I love old James. He did so many good things here. Like, it's kind of nice to sometimes appreciate your past self. This is just a thing I've started doing. I don't know if it's a self-love thing. I don't know if it's a vanity thing. I think it's self-love. I think we can all have a bit more vanity you know, in a nice way, in a humble way. And yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny, eh? It's just funny how the mind works sometimes. So this is the master bedroom, and right now we're using a coral wallpaper, but we end up changing this and we go with purples, and the purples look so much better. But I did spend quite a long time figuring out what kind of color scheme I wanted to do. So when I saw this rug in the purple swatch, I kind of in the back of my mind was thinking, I did like that purple. Maybe we can work with it. And then the other room, the second bedroom, which I thought would be it'd have a little bit more of a modern theme to it. Just a touch. That's the coral bedroom. And that one could definitely be, it could be for any age sim, but it definitely has more of a youthful feel about it. So it could be really good as like a kid's bedroom, or I don't know, teenager, you know, whatever. Or maybe not. It's pretty versatile, actually. I also tried the vampire bed in there. I thought sometimes the vampire bed even though that's obviously like old Victorian style, a bit gothic as well, sometimes the vampire things in the right colorways, like that bed, can look a little bit Balinese because of the wood carving or tie. And so I was, I guess, working a little bit with like the bed fitting in with those carved doors. And I think it could have worked for sure. But I think I ended up stripping it back a bit into something a little bit more clean and modern looking. But I definitely feel like I could have stuck with that. I kind of wish I did. You know, sometimes the thing is, I watch these builds back and it can be painful because I'm like, oh, why didn't I do that? You know, missed opportunity. What was I thinking? So yeah, wow, I'm actually spending a lot of time figuring this out. It's also painful watching and thinking, oh my God, how long did I spend on this room? Girl was trying way too hard. There's no such thing as trying way too hard in The Sims 4. You can try as hard as you want. You can do whatever the heck you like, and that's why I love this game. It's not gonna the game's not gonna punish you if you don't spend much time perfecting stuff. That's the beauty of a sandbox game. The other thing is that you might have realized there were a lot of uneven windows and columns to begin with. That is because I have strangely always been really bad at making things even and perfect. I don't know, ever since I was a kid in school, I would be the one who struggled to fully color within the lines or like fold perfect origami. I couldn't do it. The paper would always hang over ever so slightly no matter how hard I tried. So I do end up going around and evening everything out, so it should be all balanced in the end. But yeah, I thought this room looked so pretty. And I did just use a base game wallpaper for that purple color. And I think the sandy color that ties into the bed sheet, that is from this pack, or maybe Jungle Adventure, because they're the same wallpaper. And yeah, the side tables are from City Living. The kind of church looking chair at the end of the bed, I think that was from Get Together actually. And then some of these paintings were, that's just base game painting, so that's easy as well. And then I felt like the wall was a bit blank. I know some of you guys probably would have liked it to stay simple, but I think because the walls were so high, the reason why I made the walls so high was because I really wanted to use the new doors and archways, but because the wall was so high, I felt like there was so much blank space at the top. So I actually put in a curtain from Dine Out behind the bed. I know you can remove it if you don't like it and you rather the feature wall. But this is available to download on the gallery. My username is Deligracy. Unfortunately, it will be flagged having custom content, even though I don't believe I used any custom content. So make sure if you're searching for it on the gallery, just to, in the filter section, search for builds using custom content, even though it doesn't have any in it. And then there's a bathtub in this room. I don't know, there was something about this build. I felt like there'd be a bathtub in the bedroom, so I went ahead with that and just put a nice screen in front of it. Going with that wood carved theme again. I think that might have been from City Living too. And then there's like this nice little corner detail as well. Do we keep that? We might not keep that. I hope we kept it. Keep it deli, keep it old deli. I think we're keeping it. Good call. and then just playing around with tiles there again. I think I just decided to do something quite neutral. Yeah, that's right, we do the reddish color, which is good. But yeah, I thought this little corner with the bathtub turned out quite cute. I also think had I not already done so much with the columns and whatnot, and the platforms were already kind of set in place, I would have made that into a more interesting area, maybe a risen platform or something. The problem is, I feel like you need to do all of your platform planning at the start of the build before you start finishing and putting things like columns and spandrels in and all of that. And doors and windows, because once you like put new walls in or change the platforms, like they can jump up and down and delete columns and stuff like that. They are a little bit glitchy for sure, but I'm happier having them in the game a little bit glitchy than not having them in the game at all. So I'm okay with that. And then this is the coral room I've been talking about a lot. I guess I like this room because it is quite different to the rest of the build. It is a little bit of a more, you know, modern twist, I suppose. Yeah. And I don't think that bed looks particularly Moroccan at all. But I think it was nice that the colors kind of tie in. You've got the coral color, the blue, the brown of the floorboards. It just kind of all ties in together really nicely. The cream and then those side tables have the same colors in them as well. So it was just like a happy matching of colors through different items, which personally definitely satisfies me a lot when I figure the limited swatches go with each other. And that's one of the things in the game that I feel like is always a challenge, you know? I think of The Sims 3 when we had, I guess, the freedom with creator style to do whatever we wanted, any patterns on any object, any color. I definitely miss that, and I've always wished that we had that in The Sims 4, and I realized how much it slowed down the game and how a lot of people's systems couldn't handle it. So a color picker would have been great in The Sims 4. I think that would have been the perfect balance. But I guess the one positive thing because I like to look for positives, you know, that's just me. I know people find it annoying being the person who's always looking for that silver lining. But I like that sometimes I have that element of the game where I'm almost figuring out a puzzle because I'm figuring out what swatches can be used in a new way that I haven't done before, even though it's restricted. So this room satisfied me because I was doing exactly that. Does that make sense? I don't know. Also, that mirrored table is really, really cute with this pack, as well as this one. Actually, Paranormal Stuff has a few things that work with this pack really well, as the movie Hangout Stuff pack too. The kind of boho vibe works as well with this pack, I think. And City Living, some of the items in that works really well too. And like I said, vampires with the correct swatches, sometimes you can start making Victoria ornamental items with a lot of timber work and carving look like a similar thing as well. So, you know, it's really just how you work it, I think. And then also these chairs with the yellow in them, I thought harmonized really nicely with the rest of the place. And I love those brown walls. That's a beautiful rich brown color with the blues. And I just thought, you know what, let's put a whole heap of greenery in here so it has that really nice courtyard feel about it. And then I went crazy with these. These are from, I was about to say the environmental pack. These are from the Eco Lifestyle, and I just thought that was a really nice way to kind of seal in that courtyard area and make it look really lush and outdoorsy. And I think it would be so nice to sit out there blowing some bubbles, my bubbles. And also the Jungle Adventure goes with this pack so well too, because it has lots of hanging vines and things like that. So if you have any of those other packs I've mentioned, you probably will find that a lot of those things will work really well with this kit. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful kit. I think they do a really good job, for sure. But anyway, I'm going to jump into The Sims and give you guys a walkthrough of the place so you can see how it came out in the end. And let me know in the comments down below what you think and if you like it. And if you'd like to see more builds in this kind of style or with this kind of pack. Okay, so this is the final build. It is kind of hidden on this lot, which I'm kind of loving, but I'll just go around the sides so you guys can see what it looks like with this beautiful spandrels and windows and doors and all of these new things that we got with this pack. I think it looks really nice. And I also tried to make it kind of look like that the greenery wasn't straight all around it, that maybe some walls had grown greenery on it and others hadn't so much. So when you walk in, there's this entrance fountain because I really wanted to use the fountain. And I love how it fits so nicely onto the mosaic tiles underneath. And also the palm trees look quite good next to it as well. I mean, look at this facade. Can you look at that facade? That is beautiful, a beautiful facade. I love these terracotta pots as well. And look at these door handles. Imagining opening that up and it's like, it's my home in here. So it's a really nice entrance because you see through straight outside into the courtyard. There's so many like archways within archways. And this is the Batu light that I was telling you guys about. Maybe we'll go left into the dining area first. Oh no, I can see that there was a glitch with the platforms. Oh, I thought I had fixed all of that. So this is another Batu light sitting above the dining table too. I think that worked out quite nicely. And this room has a ton of patterns going on. There's green, yellow, blue as kind of the color scheme with the timber brown and the tile brown, orangey color, a kind of burnt orange. So cool. And the other thing is, because this is like a donut house, there's so much light that gets in, even though some of the windows are smaller. So here's our kitchen. The kitchen's definitely a bit more basic. There's not that much clutter or anything, but I thought that was kind of nice to just have that as the simple room and the rest of the house a more interesting, patterned, fantastic kind of energy. This is our little bathroom. Beautiful sink. I think this sink came from Jungle Adventure maybe. So that's, you know, that's not crazy. Moving back into the entrance room, if we go back this way, this is our lovely, I guess I'll call it our formal sitting room or our tea room. So I love the colors here. Love the greens, the little hints of red. And then from this sitting room, this is kind of the main lounge area slash rumpus area because there are a few items in here as well. So there's activities like the bonsai tree. I love these stripy couches. I love that we made the blue wallpaper work too. There's an archaeology table over there for Jungle Adventure. And then some painting canvases too. Loving those floor lanterns as well. I mean, if this was my lounge room, I'd think it was like, whoa, super nice. And then to get to the master bedroom, we've got to go through this beautiful courtyard. I love how the pillars actually tie into the blue sky. That's awesome. We've just got the lounges on either side here that you can walk around, or if you want to sit down in the stunning courtyard, you totally can. There's a bubble blower. Lots of beautiful things around here, like plant pots and all of that good stuff. Love this doorway. Just look to side. So then let's walk in here, and this is our purple master bedroom. So you can go retreat in here and have a fun time in the purple room. But I think this all goes together really nicely. Oh, I changed those tiles to just a brown color. I played it safe. But this is a really nice little bath corner. And then this is the master bathroom, which I didn't show you guys in the speed build, I don't think, but it's really, really nice. Oh, dang, I did use custom content. I didn't think I did, but I used the counters from Little Dicker and I, we made a kitchen custom content pack. It's available on Little Dicker's Patreon. But yeah, I did use those counters, but you could replace them with base game or also Jungle Adventure, I think I used in the kitchen. Oh, that platform did stuff up a bit. Oh. But anyway, what I was excited to show you guys is if you go in here, this is a double shower room. Look, it's like a wet room. So there's just tiles everywhere with a couple of hanging plants. I love it. I just love the idea of having a double shower wet room. I just thought that was really cool. And then in here is just the toilet. So there's a little bit of privacy in there. Around the back, there's not really much going on. It's just like some chairs at the back of the house. There wasn't much I did there because the lot was a bit restrictive. But anyway, this is the build. If you guys want to try and rebuild it, this is the floor plan. You can take a screenshot of that because I'm sure this floor plan could be useful in all kinds of different styles of builds. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And of course, like always, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Doug Doug!